All right, we had one individual that didn't finish the game, and that was Nephi with the knee. So we'll get more information when we get back there to Hallis. Overall, it doesn't matter if it's preseason or not. It's a bad feeling in that locker room after the game when you lose, particularly like that when it's down by multiple scores. You don't feel like you made it very close there at the end. Said it at halftime to the crew, just the penalties and the third downs on both sides of the ball, they really hurt us in the first half, and we weren't able to get those cleaned up there in the second half. 11 penalties for the game. We were 2 of 14 on third down on offense, and we allowed 6 of 13 there on defense. So not quite good enough. And then when you add in the red zone, the fact that we were able to move the ball at times, okay, but we couldn't end up with touchdowns. Those are major killers when you're facing a good team like that. So I'll go ahead and open it up from there.
What went into your decision to play the starters?
Okay. Same thing I've been saying all along, and that is we were going to assess the number of reps over the course of the week and the workload. And so we felt like we needed this work.
What did Caleb gain from it, do you think?
I have to go back. I got to watch the tape. But he gained 9 more reps. I know that.
Did you see anything in the left tackle battle today that gave you any more clarity in what you were looking for?
Hard to say without watching the tape.
Anything else?
No. Tyreek Stevenson, he wasn't out there today. What's his timetable like?
Week to week.
Practice week to week.
Yep.
What did you see out of your starting defense today?
It's another one I got to go back and I got to watch that tape. But held them to 3 points. So.
How do you think the defensive line held up in the starting group?
Same thing. I can't speak on specific positions right here or individuals right now without looking at the tape, guys.
It seems like the defense is doing a much better job locking in on the run game than they are on the pass game. Where are you seeing kind of their success in the run game being able to come together so quickly?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're just trying to get out of our stance and strike blocks. I think our linebackers are doing a good job communicating and filling the gaps. And then we have our little guys that are willing tacklers. I think they're doing a good job tackling in space for the most part through 2 games so far.
What did you see on the shot Caleb took to Colston down? It looked like it was just a little high.
I probably would go somewhere else with the ball on that one.
Ben, what did you take away from your starters on Thursday in the joint practice?
There was a healthy amount of back and forth throughout. I thought our defense competed really, really hard throughout that one against a really good unit. I mean, the quarterback is top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and of course those pass catchers are outstanding as well. So there's a healthy amount of back and forth. I thought, some periods they got us, other periods we really got them, and I think that's what you want to see in a setting like that. Offensively, I think we left a little bit out there. Wasn't very pleased. First 7 snaps of that practice, we had 3 procedure issues that quarterback center exchange or not getting off the ball at the same time. It's just we talk all week about starting fast and wanting to start the practice fast, and that didn't quite translate. And so, we had some work that we want to end up cleaning up going into next week. And that's the beautiful thing about it is it's going to be a little bit of a rinse and repeat with a different opponent. And so we'll go on the road again and get a good joint practice in with a team that's got a lot of good talent. I know they reloaded similar to what Cincinnati did, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, and I know that they're really well coached throughout. So it'll be a good challenge, and it'll be good for us to finish this last little bit of training camp, and make sure we're ready for week 1.
Are you going to take a similar approach and see how the Thursday
that's the
goes?
Plan. That's been the plan all along is to work through these weeks and see where we're at.
Roschon seems like he's really making the running back competition for that RB3 spot tough. He played well today. What did you see out of him today that you liked?
Yeah, I think he flashed the other day, in particular on special teams, and we keep talking about that and the importance of being the number 3 running back or depth in the running back room and being able to bring that to the table. And so he had a couple really, really nice plays in the practice. Can't wait to see what it looked like today on the game tape because we talked about would love to see some of these players stack good performances back to back to back, and he's a candidate that may have done that tonight.
Cool. Last two, Sean and Pat.
I know you're not game planning for a guy like Dexter Lawrence in practice or whatever, but what did you learn about your interior with that matchup on?
It was up and down. throughout. I think he's a menace. I mean, he's an issue. That's been the case for a number of years. I mean, I remember being in a joint practice setting with him a couple years ago, and he wrecks practice. You know, that's what he does. I will say I was proud of the way that Garrett competed, and he did some good things against them. When you face a player like that, and you know you're going to a game, you certainly do need to make sure you limit the number of times anybody has a one-on-one with him, because he's a special individual.
Cut day is coming a little earlier this year than usual. How does that change how quick you need to turn it around a week from today?
Yeah, I mean, that's where this discussion, player day off on Monday, with the personnel staff, that'll be big for us. Make sure that we're all aligned. We see it all the same way. And then anybody that could go either way. I mean, it'll be a big week for them as well. I said it a week ago. I don't think that there was as much clarity, and it's actually a good thing. It means we have a really good competition across the roster at a number of spots. And so, between the game tonight, being able to watch that tape in depth and get a good evaluation of these guys, and then next week, I'm certain that we're going to be able to pick our 53, and I keep talking about the practice squad as well. It's how do we get the best 69 guys, because the practice squad in a 17-game season, they're going to come up and help us at times too. So it's big for us.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Asked Ben about the throw you had to Colston. It was a little high, and he said I probably would have gone somewhere else with the ball. Where would you? What was the coaching point? Where should you have gone with it?
Wasn't necessarily a coaching point. Just because we haven't been able to go back and watch it yet. But, they ended up busting the coverage.
Yeah.
And so just saw Colson running, down the seam. That's not typically our read on that play with that. So, when they get into that coverage. And so they end up messing up on defense, tried to find the open guy, and just missed.
And the last throw you had to Rome, I know he had thought that maybe there was some contact, but was the communication good there between you and him?
Communication was good. So they ended up sending a blitz on the left side. And so the back had to stay in protection. And so that backer that was guarding him, because they were matching, I ended up just following my eyes. And so, mid-throw, I ended up seeing him. And so I just hooked it to basically throw in a completion on purpose.
When did you find out you were playing?
Yesterday.
How did it feel out there? Just
Good. Felt smooth. No complaints other than, if we get a penalty, we try not to get penalties, obviously. It's not the goal. But if we get penalties and things like that, it's my job and, the other guy's job to try and get us back in position, to try and help Ben out in that situation. It's not many calls that you can have for 2nd and 20s or 3rd and 20s and things like that. So just doing a better job with that. So it was good, back, kind of getting back in that mode of a game and things like that. So, yeah.
You and Ben talk about urgency all the time. How do you balance the need for that every day with the fact that, this is a preseason football game and you still have 3 weeks to go before?
Yeah, no, we understand it's the preseason. It's not obviously counting, but it does matter. And so that's something that we live by, something we go by. And so it's not fun ever losing. It's never that, whether it's preseason or a joint practice or it's just practicing versus the defense and things like that. So the urgency's there. We obviously have to fix things on tape. There are a lot of penalties out there, and from first team, second team, and third team. And so it's started with the head of the snake, and we gotta it went all the way down to the tail. So we gotta fix that.
Do you feel like the offense wasn't good enough in the joint practice?
We had a bunch of explosives. It's hard to judge. You're not keeping score. You're not moving the ball. You're not this and that, obviously. The situations at the end weren't the best. And then, we had some good periods and we had some bad periods. So it was a good back and forth with, I would say a pretty good defense and defensive line and, defensive secondary and all of them. So, yeah.
After reviewing the tape of that joint practice, what do you think the focus is going to be going into next week when you do the same thing in Tennessee?
Yeah, just execution, penalties and just getting started. I think first play we had a fumble snap. So it's small things like that add up, and so it's just us being able to go out there and not have those things, and a lot of it's just focus and that's something that we can control.
How do you dial in the I don't want to say simple, but the plays where it's, not the explosives, where you're able to make the big throws, but then a lot of times you get the penalties and different things that set you back, where you have to make the explosives now?
What do you? Can you ask the question again?
Just essentially asking, how do you lock in on the every play, the every down play, right? Like where you guys can hit the big plays,
Yep.
and it seems like you hit them on a consistent basis.
Yep.
But sometimes the easy throw to the flat is the one that's just off a little bit.
I feel like I was pretty on today. Had one or two batted balls, and then had the roam incompletion on purpose just because the backer got up under it. So it's something that we work on, that we focus on. Like I said, it's a thing that you can control. It's just there's so many details within each play, and each play provides and needs 100% of your focus. And so you go 99, or one of the teammates goes 99, and everybody else is 100. It's that same thing of everybody has to do their 1/11th on the field. And so it's just getting back to that. It's just getting back into flow of playing a game. It's getting back into all of that. So we'll go back and look at the tape and figure it out.
So oh, my fault.
Very good. Last one, Pat.
Do you have a preference as to whether you play against the Titans in a game?
Whatever coach decides is
Do you
good for me.
feel like you're trending the right way to being ready for the season?
Yeah, I would say so. A lot of good conversations and talks with Coach. A lot of good conversations and talks with wide receivers and Garrett and all of that. Just find ways to be on the same page so that when September 13th is the first game, September 13th comes around, that we're rolling and that that we're hot. And so I think we are. And then there's times where you'll have a down day, or times where you'll lose a game like today, and you got to go back and look at the tape and be truth tellers about yourselves and look in the mirror first.
Cool.
Awesome. The Bears.